We've got a Week 18 now or never game in the 2026 season of our Cleveland Browns franchise on Madden 25. Basically a playoff game here in the last week of the regular season. I'm excited to get it going. Shout out to everybody already in chat. I hope you guys are excited for this game as I am. You love when a Week 18 game actually matters. We didn't get a lot of those in the regular season this year, but we get one here in our Madden franchise rebuild. Shout out to everybody in chat. Beta Beetle here at 1 a.m. That's pretty awesome. I'm definitely a night owl. I usually spend most nights up at 1 a.m., but I know I am not normal in that sense. So being up at 1 a.m. watching a stream, that's something. For some reason, my music isn't working. So there's not going to be any music on the stream. Hopefully I can get it figured out because I also plan to stream tomorrow for those who also watch the Vancouver Blizzard. That's going to be a longer stream, so I'd like to have the music figured out by then, but no music. So we'll just be rocking with the Madden sounds here. Week 18 going against the Houston Texans. Let's get a good look at the team we'll be facing off against here. They are currently the 7th seed. We are just outside the playoffs. If we win this game, we'll both be at 10 wins, and of course, we will then hold the tiebreaker over the Texans. Can't talk too much about Houston without mentioning C.J. Stroud, 24 years old, playing up to a 96 overall with morale. Is kind of insane. 99 short and medium accuracy. He's not going to miss his receivers, so we're going to have to play some airtight coverage in this game. He's got an elite man protecting his blind side. His go-to weapon, Nico Collins here. Up now to a 91 overall. 94 speed for him is nice at 27. Their best defenders, they got Derek Stingley here. Now 25 years old, up to a 93 overall with morale. Both man and zone coverage at 94. The fact that he's been able to develop so evenly is really impressive. And then a very good pass rusher here in Will Anderson that could cause problems for our offense that, as the season has gone along, has had more and more problems. Pretty much every episode, it seems. 2 streams, might even be 3, Bozo. 3 days in a row with a stream. Maybe. Not committing to that yet. How do we stop this team? Well, they suggest that we go medium pass. I got to be honest, for most of the weeks, I don't do this. I've just been allowing the CPU to do it. But for this week, I feel like we can hop in and set a game plan. I think the medium pass is a good pull here. So we'll go this. As for the defense, how do we attack the Texans? I think we have to get a boost to our run game. Our offense is at its best when the run game's able to produce. As the season has gone on, the run game's really fallen short. It's putting more on Donnie Richardson's plate, and it has made things difficult for the rookie quarterback. What's my user? Are you talking about like when I play defense? I don't play defense on this series. This is a CPU versus CPU game. But when I do user, I typically user in a... I kind of go around. I like to kind of user along the middle of the defense, whether that's interior defensive line or middle linebacker, or if there's a safety playing a middle zone, I'll user that. But I don't user on this channel. I haven't actually played defense in a long, long time. If I were to try and pick up right now and start series like I did earlier on in my channel's history, like the San Antonio Express, where it was a draft only, but I was playing the game. We do get an injury here. Mayweather backup. That's fine. It's not great. Never love even a backup going out, but at least that's the only one. So we'll be relatively full strength here for week 18. Let's make sure we're at full upgrade here. Do not want to hop into practice. See if anybody good has an upgrade point here that we could use before the game. I mean, you know the fullback's important. Let's make him block better in case he gets in the game. There you go. We were definitely going to lose without that fullback upgrade, so I'm glad we got it. And let's officially get the Week 18 game underway. Gonna be on the road here. You see Donnie Richardson's stats. We'll go over the season-long stats for everybody at the conclusion of this game, whether win or lose. Richardson ain't looking too hot. He's thrown a lot of interceptions. And a lot of them have been in games that we've watched. I feel like in games that we don't watch, he doesn't throw as many interceptions. That's just kind of the nature of Madden. I feel like CPU versus CPU, there's just a high rate of interceptions. I wish it weren't that way as much. That's kind of probably one of my only complaints about the way CPU versus CPU plays out. Slow it down, baby, and let's watch this game all the way to the end. I don't know how much of it is the playbook, us needing to change the playbook versus Richardson, because Richardson has the traits that should theoretically succeed, right? And our offensive line, for the most part, it's not elite, but it's not bad either. I think we can definitely tell that we need to replace right tackle. Jack Conklin has struggled. He's kind of just let guys right by him sometimes. Other than that, we have a solid offensive line. So I'm starting to think that it might need to be a playbook change. I liked how the offense was looking early on in the season. Been a while since this looked good since. Donnie Richardson escaping to the right side to start off this game. Looked like a Will Anderson sack, but he just dipped right around him and moves the chains to start this game. All the way past the 45 now, under center. Richardson back to pass. He finds Njoku. Good start. Twelve personnel on 2nd and 3. The give is to McFerrin, and he does just enough to pick up the first. Pretty good blocking there. Now 3 tight ends. The package just keeps getting bigger. Right back to McFerrin. We can get solid gains like that on first down. That's going to help. The problem that I've seen in the games that I've watched of this offense recently is Richardson throws a pick. I was going to say the problem I've been seeing recently is we're in too many 2nd and 3rd and longs. But the other problem is that's Donnie Richardson's 18th interception on the season. Tried to find Judy going against Fulton. I do think we have the advantage on that matchup, but Fulton had the coverage there. Wasn't a perfect throw either. And then contrast the stats that you saw from Richardson with what you see from Stroud right now, and there's clearly a big difference. So not a great start here for Cleveland. Stroud. Classic Browns quarterback. I mean, he's rocking the number 5. He's been playing a little bit like Jameis at times, for sure. Second down. Fake the give. It's going to be a read option, and the Browns are all over it. I don't know if I'm the Texans if I'd be running Stroud personally, but you got a nice matchup. Nico Collins versus Denzel Ward, top of your screen there in press coverage. Stroud trying to evade, but Daniel Gibson is there for the sack. And just like that, it's a 3-and-out after the opening drive interception from Richardson. Defense does their job. It's been a top 5 defense all year long. Looking like the 2023 Browns defense was suffocating, and they're back to their old ways here. Just had to replace a couple of positions. That's the strength of this team, and when you have such a strong defense, all you have to do as an offense is avoid turnovers, but we've done terrible at that. You can avoid turnovers, score like 20 points a game. If you have a good enough defense, that's a formula that can win you ball games, but the offense has been struggling to do that lately. After the sack, we get the first down, though, with a completion to Njoku. Clearly Richardson's favorite target in his rookie season, at least in the games that we watch. Just hope the offense can actually score. If we get shut out again like we did in the Bengals game, I'm going to be sad. No gain on first. Richardson alone in the backfield. Towards the flat. He's going to pick up about 6. That's the trade deadline target. Adonai Mitchell on the reception. Puts us in a much more manageable 3rd down spot. And picked off again! Oh my! Donnie Richardson throws his 2nd interception. We're not even halfway through the first quarter yet. JOK nearly got it right back for us. 19th interception. Richardson now has 20 touchdowns and 19 picks. He has a chance to A, have a 20 interception season, and B, have more interceptions than touchdowns by the end of the year. That's now in play after 2 straight interceptions to start this game. Going for 20. He just wants the 20. I mean, when you're close enough, might as well just go for it, right? Stroud with a nice completion. Here's the question. Peyton Manning, rookie season, 26 touchdowns, 28 interceptions. So it's not a death knell. I mean, I'm not saying Donnie Richardson's no Peyton Manning, but you know what I just realized because I saw them cut. This is also the team that we traded Grant Delpit to. This is also a Grant Delpit revenge game, as Nico Collins hauls in a big catch over the middle, but he is shaken up on the play. Doesn't look too serious. This is the team we traded Grant Delpit to. I totally forgotten about that. It's also the Kalen Bullock revenge game for Houston. Trading him just a couple of years after drafting him. From the 6. Man in motion. Give to Mixon. Folds just did not take a good angle there. So it'll be 3rd and goal from the 2. Can we hold him to 3? We're cooked. The offense is definitely cooked. There's going to need to be some changes in the offseason upcoming. Daniel Gibson makes the play on third down. Stroud trying to escape. Folds and Gibson combine. And that'll force a field goal attempt. As much as this offense can be tough to watch at times, it is fun watching the Cleveland Browns defense play. They're fast. They play sound fundamentals for the most part. The defensive line plays well. We just got to figure it out on offense. I think there's already some doubt about Richardson being a long-term guy, but I think we got to do some changes to the playbook that hopefully can help him out a bit. He has the traits. He's going deep, and he nearly threw an interception to Grant Delpit. Richardson is just slinging it right now. That's a read option. Richardson, he's having a good game on the ground at least. Yeah, I think at this point he just wants to get it over with, so it's not in the back of his mind. Into the flat, Kenny Gainwell. That's a nice pickup of 9. Should have just kept Winston. We didn't have the money to keep Winston after year 1, unfortunately. Or else I would have kept him for year 2 instead of starting a 4th-round rookie or 3rd-round rookie. I can't remember. Moving the chains, though, we are in Texans territory now. This one has Judy. This time he beats Christian Fulton down the sideline. Touchdown. Cleveland Browns. That's what he wanted to do the first time. Just didn't quite work out. He is getting to the point where every time he throws to a target I can't see, like down the field, I get worried. That's when you know it's bad. But that time it works out in a major way. He adds to his touchdown total. 21 touchdown passes on the year. He also has 4 rushing touchdowns, if I'm not mistaken. So Cleveland takes the lead here. Still 2.5 minutes remain in the first. And Bozo's fear that we might go scoreless in this game, fortunately, will not be realized. Ben Folds the quarterback. CJ Stroud on the blitz. Yeah, Richardson's definitely shown good stuff that makes you excited for the future. The bad part is avoiding negative plays, both interceptions and sacks. He hasn't done good at either. You have to wonder how much of that is playbook related. I don't think I'm going to make a custom playbook. Oh my goodness, 3rd and 16, and they pick it up over the middle to Tank Dell. I don't think I'm going to make a custom one just because I think that puts us at an advantage over the CPU, and in a series like this, I like things to be at an even level. But I am probably going to switch off of the Cleveland playbook, see if we can find something that suits Richardson better. And another big completion. This time, it's to Diggs. Stroud is feeling it here towards the end of this first quarter. Threading the needle. Yeah, I mean, these have been pretty just on-the-money throws by an elite quarterback. The defense has gotten to Stroud, but In the times when he's been able to extend, he's made good things happen for the Texans, who now start the second quarter from the 34-yard line. Play action. Stroud into the flats for a small pickup. Who's 24? Is that Quandre Diggs? I know we have Quandre Diggs to be a mentor on our team. Does he wear 24 though? Another short completion brings up 3rd and 4 for Houston. They are inside field goal range. Would love to hold them to 3 again. That would help us retain the lead for now. Stroud motions into a empty backfield here. And that one's complete to Tank Dell. The Houston drive will continue. This is the second time Houston's been able to mount a drive against us. Stroud, nice pass breakup by JOK, diving to get a hand on that ball. Excellent play and pass coverage there. Second down, Stroud immediately flushed out of the pocket and he throws an interception. Newsome might take this all the way for 6, and he will. The defense, an elite unit, shows up big time once more. All the way to the crib. Greg Newsome, who is heading into week 18, by the way, the favorite for the AFC defensive back of the year. And I think that pick 6 right there might have just sealed the deal. Newsome been an elite playmaker in the 2 seasons of this franchise. I think he has what now? He has more than 10 interceptions between these 2 seasons for sure. Stroud, 3rd place for passing touchdowns. Doing it all year. Yes, he has. He's been doing it all franchise long, really. Cleveland leads 14-3. Give to Mixon. He's got plenty of space. Beats the defenders to the edge there. That's a massive run for Joe Mixon. Houston able to create an explosive on the ground and instantly have it in Cleveland territory. A Jets quarterback in top 5 for any quarterback stat. Yeah, that's true. Unless it's losses or interceptions. He also might be top 5 in interception though. Oh, these young guns, the guys that have been drafted in the league so far, all of them are throwing picks. That one's broken up by Martin Emerson. Nice physical play attacking downhill. Third down. We haven't been good on third down so far in this game, and that will continue. Wonder how many conversions Houston has on third down already. A lot of them have been easier third downs, but even on the difficult third down situations we put them in, it has not been a great third down day for Cleveland. Plenty of time for Stroud. He finds Mixon for 7. How's it going, Reginald? Nice to see you in chat. It's been a minute. Nice pass breakup by JOK. Forcing yet another third down. Can we finally get a third down stop? 3rd and 3. It is broken up over the middle. Stroud has been attacking this short middle of the field area. I like our linebackers in that spot. Ben Folds. I think Ben Folds, I haven't talked a ton about him, but I think he's had a pretty impressive rookie year. I had middle linebacker as kind of a high priority spot for Cleveland coming into the year just because Folds had normal development. He's not the fastest guy. He's got decent speed, but I like the way he plays, especially when he's able to attack downhill. Yeah, no problem. No problem, man. I get it. I don't get to see a lot of my favorite streamers live often either, you know? I was able to hit Mr. Hurricane's stream earlier today. He was doing some practice for his Buffalo Bulls franchise or dynasty. But yeah, I get it. You can't always, your schedules don't always match up. Been going to Mixon since the interception. Yeah, he's just been playing it safe. He doesn't want to be like Richardson and throw 2 straight. Kenny Gainwell breaks through the line of scrimmage, out past the 50. This offense is looking pretty solid. Offense is looking pretty solid. We've had 2 interceptions. Hey, Scott. Happy to have you here live. Read option. Richardson on the key, but some nice contain there. It'll be just a pickup of 1. Yeah, Gainwell's been a pleasant surprise as our 3rd down back. I wouldn't mind bringing him back. But I will say, what the... What was that? Oh, man. That was crazy on 2nd down. That was like some weird RPO. But it just did not look very smooth at all. Matt Driver able to pick up the conversion, his first reception on the day. I would like to pick a playbook that will get him a little bit more involved. Don't get me wrong, I love how involved Njoku has been. That's a good run for McFerrin. Averaging over 4 yards so far in the game. I love that this playbook gets Njoku a decent amount involved. But I would like to get Driver involved as well. He's a superstar youngster. He's had some good moments, but I feel like it's been inconsistent how much we get him involved in the games that we watch. Always hitting the likes. Hey, I appreciate the likes. I need those likes on my videos. I got to get more views. 3rd and 1. Inside the red zone here. We got to pick up this conversion. A lot of Texans there across the line of scrimmage. We'll run it anyway, and that was just... didn't look smooth at all at McFerrin. Looked like he didn't know where he wanted to go or something. It just ran into the back of his offensive line there. But on 4th and 1, we stay out on the field. Not settling for 3. McFerrin will break past the tackle inside to the 1. Do I pick uniforms? I do. I was gonna, if it was a home game, I was gonna choose the ones that are all brown and orange. Ernie McFerrin into the end zone. But Browns fans do not like the white and brown, huh? I didn't know that. McFerrin, great 2-play sequence there. This is more of the early season McFerrin that we were seeing. So far, that run inside might be working out a little bit. Yeah, that's true, Scott. I've been pleasantly surprised that that they're going for it more. That is definitely an improvement over previous CPU versus CPU Maddens, no doubt. So on the road, what uniform combinations do the Browns fans like? I had something in my beard. That's interesting. Do you just like the all whites? I don't mind an all white look. In fact, I like an all white look most of the time. Tankdale, just a gain of 4. And The Browns also have the all-white look that includes the white helmet as well. The orange pants as well. Basically anything but the brown pants, huh? That's a nice completion over the middle for CJ Stroud. I'll have to try and remember that. Sometimes when I hop into a game, I'm not thinking about it. But sometimes I do, and I'll try to change it up uniform-wise. Stroud. He's taken down, but not before he can get it out of bounds. Do the Browns go white and brown often? Or does they usually switch it up as well? Stroud picks up 7. Gameplay's the same either way, yeah. But I do subscribe to the look good, you feel good. The white and the brown pants is what you think of? I think my favorite brown, I love the Browns with this brown with the orange lettering. I think that looks sick, and I haven't used it at all in this franchise because I keep forgetting whenever it's a home game, and I don't think it's a good away game uniform. I was going to use it for this stream if this was a home game, but it is not. Stroud been continuing to pick over this short to intermediate. Oh, so they like never wear it in real life either. That's interesting. First and 10. We are under a minute remaining. Houston trying to get on the board before halftime. Make this a one-score game. Martin Emerson breaks it up. Like brown and orange. What's their usual? Brown and white, I think, is the default here in Madden. 3rd and 10 after the second straight incompletion here. Stroud into the flats. It's caught, but short of the line to gain. Now, what will Houston do? They will settle for 3 here. That'll make it a 12-point game. You wish they'd have a new orange jersey? I mean, you get the orange jersey for the quarterback in practice. Where's it? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the orange jersey for the quarterback in practice. Yeah, I think that's been a problem, Scott, I think that's not been strictly to this Madden. There are a lot of playbooks out there that just do not run the ball hardly ever. And so it results in the quarterbacks throwing like 50 times. And when you do that, you're going to get like 350 yards a lot. I actually feel like that's been less of a problem here in this Madden. Now, that might be because I haven't watched a lot of full games. I think, oh my goodness, that's going to be recovered by Adonai Mitchell. Thank goodness. I mean, Judy got absolutely smacked. As I was saying, I think that's been less of a problem in this Madden, but that's because, again, I don't watch a ton of games. I just kind of hop in whenever teams get into kind of scoring territory. I think that's maybe helped the stats be a little bit more regular. What is that? Oh, it was a throwaway. We were actually winning. Yes, we are. 21-9. We have kept Houston out of the end zone. Got a couple touchdowns ourselves. Richardson just throwing it away again. Now we might just run it here on 3rd and 10. And then pick 6 definitely also helped. Yeah, there are a lot of 3rd and long conversions. That is very true. We've seen Even a 3rd and 16 get converted in this game right here. It's definitely too easy to convert on 3rd and long. It's a tough balance, I think, for CPU versus CPU, though, because there's already a lot of interceptions. So if they make coverage really tight, that's just going to go up even more. So, I mean, I think the game could certainly do better. But I think it is kind of a tough balance there. Chiefs versus Ravens, both 11-5. That's another game that matters here in Week 18. What about Jags-Titans? Not really. Oh, the Titans have fallen off. They had a winning record when we played them. Or maybe they didn't. Maybe that was like the one team in the last half of the season that we played that didn't have a winning record. All right. Second half is underway here in Houston. Cleveland holds a 21-9 lead. The defense gave up some drives, but never allowed Houston to enter the end zone, which is ultimately the main goal. Yep, we got to finish out with another good half here. I think as long as the defense plays like they did in the first half, we'll be just fine. Short pickup over the middle there. Has to be a way to... Yeah, that's the problem is like... If you make them... And this happens both in CPU versus CPU and when you're playing Madden. If you make a bad throw, if you make a bad decision, it is a pick every time. Which it's not that way in football. I kind of get it. I wish it wasn't that way for Madden, but, you know... In terms of Madden being a video game and you want kind of the big plays to happen, interceptions is one way to do that. But, yeah, I definitely agree that it could be better. And maybe it could be better through sliders. I don't experiment really with sliders in a CPU versus CPU setting. Nice throw. Because I feel like we get a high variance of games. We get games all over the map, and so I like it. But you could probably fix some of the things with sliders for sure. Nice play by Denzel Ward to break it up. That's a fun matchup there. Nico Collins, Denzel Ward. Exclusivity definitely helps. I mean, hurts their incentive to make, you know, the best product possible. You always love a competitive market because then people are trying to make better products than everybody else out there. So Mixon, he's got big time space and he's inside the 10. Not the first time, excuse me, that he's broken free on this defense today. Houston's got the better of us in the run game a couple of times, and now Houston has its best chance to score a touchdown yet. They are cooking us on this drive. It's been pretty steady. That is down to the 1. Blizzard franchise will be tomorrow. And possibly, I'm going to guess that that series will take 2 streams to finish. So probably tomorrow and, would that be Friday? Nice play by Greg Newsome. Third and goal. At the 1. The give to Mixon, and he just walks right into the end zone. Too easy for Mixon. This is a very high-powered Houston offense. So it's going to be tough to keep them out of the end zone forever. But now it's just a one-score game that puts pressure back on the offense to get something going here in the third quarter. 10-play drive. And it was really methodical. If you ever want to play a cartoonish, goofy, fun football game, Sunday Rivals, I don't think I've ever heard of that. Yeah, you gotta, with the offense as good as Houston, they're gonna have a touchdown drive. Yeah, College Football 25, the safety angles. I've been running a little bit of College Football 25 when I don't feel like recording, and the safeties take awful angles in that game. Otherwise, I think it's a really fun game, though. So I guess it's not true that I haven't played a football game forever. I have been playing College Football 25 a little bit. Ernie McFerrin, that'll be enough for the first. Kenny Gainwell now in the backfield with Richardson. He gets the carry here. Nice pickup of 7. Good start to the drive here. Definitely would like a touchdown here to respond to that nice opening drive by Houston. Kenny just gets to the first down marker here. We're down to 9 minutes left in the third. McFerrin, big hole up the middle, inside the 40. I'm playing console or PC. I play on Xbox, mostly just because until, I think that, was it this the first cycle that they actually had the next gen, or I guess current gen features now, is what you'd call them. I think this is the first year that they actually had the current gen features on the PC, right? And I didn't want to play like the previous gen version of Madden by playing it on the PC. I might start playing PC in the future, though. Donnie Richardson escapes the pockets. Inside the 20, down to the 12. A big-time scramble by Richardson. He's done a nice job on the ground game today. This one was his biggest run yet. I wouldn't mind playing PC in the future, though, just because of the possibility of modding. Was it last year that they did it? I just got so used to playing on console because PC was the lesser version of the game. I'd mostly want to mod. I guess now that wouldn't even matter, though. In the past, I would have modded to get some cool uniforms for like a draft-only team or something. That's the third pick of the game for Richardson in the end zone to Baron Browning. That's 20 on the season for Donnie Richardson. You just knew he had to do it. Once you got 19, you can't stop at 19, right? Got to go for 20. That is unfortunate. Stroud. Nice play on the ball by Denzel Ward there. Classic Browns move. 2020 club. It's not quite the Jameis 30-30 club, but it's the Jameis Jr. club. He's not done. I hope he's done. 21-16. Nice stop by the defense. That'll be 4th and 3. I didn't even realize that was 3rd down. Next year he's going for the 30-30. It's probably going to drop down to normal div if he does that. Then it'll be a conversation. As much as I love Jameis, but that's because Jameis has never been on the team that I root for. You know what I mean? As an independent observer, I love Jameis Winston. because he's so entertaining. But when it's the team that you're rooting for, those interceptions are far more annoying. Oh my goodness, he almost threw another one. I mean, I respect giving Matt Driver a one-on-one shot, but that's Derek Stingley. Kenny, nice run on 2nd and 10, nearly spinning for the first. Richardson in the flat to Judy for the first down. That puts us to the 39-yard line. Can Richardson overcome his interceptions that he's thrown today? McFerrin, loss of 2. Baron Browning, who's playing off-ball linebacker here, because Madden doesn't know how to designate positions. You're a Niners fan. Yeah, they've had some pretty insane teams in recent years. This year is just way too many injuries. About to finish your first off season for Panthers. The Panthers have been towards the top of my list. Adonai Mitchell, 39 yards for the score. Another explosive touchdown for Richardson. Somehow got behind the defense. There was nobody close to A.D. Mitchell. Oh, the Panthers. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Panthers have been towards the top of my list for some ideas that I've had on the channel. I just don't like their uniforms. And for me, if I don't like your unis, I just can't do it, you know what I mean? $28-16 in favor of your Cleveland Browns. I don't know about you, but I have confidence this defense isn't allowing 12 more points in this game. Top 5 defense in the NFL. The Texans are definitely a top 10 offense. I can't remember. I was planning on looking at this before the game, but I totally forgot. But it was definitely a strength versus strength offense. Texans are one of the best offenses in the league this year, in this 2026 season. And the Browns were one of the best defenses, maybe even number 1. There's an argument to be made the Browns are the number 1 defense in the NFL in this season. Stroud, he's taken down. 3rd sack of the day for this Cleveland defense. Makes it 3rd and 19. 2019, the final score prediction. 3 Browns all get there. Garrett, Owe, and Mike Hall. Mike Hall will get credited for at least half a sack. 3rd and 19. We've seen our defense give up these 3rd and longs before. Gotta avoid doing it again. Myles Garrett gets to CJ Stroud again. Not gonna happen this time. Myles Garrett comes through for you when you need him most. Didn't make any crazy signings, but traded for Tank Dell. Nice. Myles Garrett. Hopefully somebody that will end up being a career Cleveland Brown. He made it clear that he wanted to go to the playoffs this year if he was going to stick with the team. And he's playing a big role in making sure we get there. What are they going to show for Richardson? All his picks, or no? They're going to show the good side. It's been very much two sides of the coin here in this game for Richardson, which I kind of feel like is the story of his season. He makes great plays, and he also makes plays that make you want to facepalm. So offense has it in Houston territory already, and he fumbles the ball. Are you kidding me? Fourth turnover of the game for Donald Richardson. I don't even know if I can call him Donnie anymore. Just like with Albert Ellis, I took away his nickname, although Donnie's not necessarily a nickname. And it fueled him to become better. Maybe that's what we got to do with Richardson. Can't call him Donnie Richardson anymore. He's Donald Richardson. Until he earns Donnie back. Donald. Oh my goodness, that defensive line came screeching towards CJ Stroud. I have no idea how he got that pass off. Holy crap. I'd noticed how many ints get thrown in the spotlight games. It is too much. Although there's been games where I watched and he literally threw 0 or 1. But it is too common that you'll get these 3 or even 4 interception games. And like did we pick off Joe Burrow 4 times in that Bengals game earlier this year? And so not even like the best quarterbacks in the game are immune to it. It's definitely a problem in CPU versus CPU. It's like honestly probably my lone, that and clock management are my 2 big like drawbacks for this style of series. But again, the thing that I like about it is at least it's even on both sides, you know what I mean? Whereas if you're playing the CPU and that quarterback throws the crow routes that always get intercepted in this game, you're probably not throwing those same crow routes when you're playing, and you're probably a lot better at managing the clock when you're playing. So that's like the one saving grace of doing it like this. But it can be rough. And maybe if I changed the difficulty, because I think this is all Madden, just because when I play the game, I play on all Madden. I know Mr. Hurricane, who's, of course, the GOAT of this kind of Madden series. I think he plays on all pro, but he also gets lots of interceptions, so I don't know if it's going to matter. Just like that, it's 1st and goal from the 3. I'm sitting here talking about interceptions, and CJ Stroud is mounting a drive. To the 3, Mixon to the goal line. I thought he got in, but the refs will call him short. You put it on all pro? From inside the 1. Stroud throws the 1-on-1 ball. I mean, it was Kenneth Murray versus Nico Collins. I don't know what we were doing. But that's not going to be a matchup that we're hardly ever going to win. Nice view of the back of the ref's head there. Love watching Kane. 5 or 6 years. I watched Kane. I started watching Kane in 2020. I think 2020. So yeah, about pretty similar then. I first watched him, ironically enough, with his Houston Texans CPU versus CPU franchise. First thing I watched of his. And funnily enough, the first time, so back before that, I didn't watch a lot of sports YouTube before then, but one guy I did watch was Bengal, who does a very different style, but it's very good in its in of itself. And he just like he asked his subscribers what other creators they like to watch, and a bunch of people in the comments said Mr. Hurricane. So, oh, nice blitz pick up there, and it results in a big play. Juke move by Adonai Mitchell. Okay, this is AD's Mitchell's best game as a Brown for sure. He's showing up in a big spot here. He was injured shortly after being traded to us. The pass was right on the money as well. That's a good start. Just take control of the ball. That's a completion over the middle. But anyway, as I was saying, on Bagel's channel, a lot of people were saying Mr. Hurricane, so I went to his channel and he was playing CPU versus CPU, and I thought it was stupid. I was like, CPU versus CPU, this is terrible. Lo and behold, I gave it a chance a few months later, and now that's the only way I can play franchise mode in any game. Holy smokes, David Njoku! What was that, 200,000 yards? That's crazy, dude. The best season in NFL history by a mile. Whoa. So yeah, Bengal does two different sides. He does do that. He does do the rebuilds, but he also does the long-term series as well. He definitely, oh my goodness, doesn't spend... So I definitely watch like his more long-term stuff, because that's the kind of content I like. I'm not really as much of a fan as the like the one-off rebuilds. They're fun because you get to see like a lot of draft classes and stuff, and you get to see a lot of free agent classes. That's kind of the pro of them. But for me, like, actually drafting players is only half the fun. Oh my goodness, Tutu Owl just got crunched. The second half, like, in order to truly enjoy like your draft classes, you have to actually like watch your draft class play a bit. At least that's my opinion, of course. McFerrin can't quite get in. Now it's 3rd and goal. Kenny Gainwell, touchdown! Everybody's getting a little bit of the love here. What's that, our 5th touchdown by a 5th different player in this game. 2nd on the ground. Gainwell's had a really solid week 18, and he gets rewarded with a score. I watch C4 as well. I like Jerome PKR stuff for sure. Jerome PKR is actually the first Madden YouTuber I ever watched, because I was looking for somebody who would tell me where people went in the fantasy draft, because I was doing a fantasy draft when I was, I don't know how many years old. And he makes those videos, so that's how I got introduced to kind of the Madden YouTube world. I haven't heard of Gus Bus or CB, I don't think, though. You play franchise. Myself, I have to take a day or two break at the end of every year. But you do like a year in one sitting. The pacing of franchise is very tough, especially because it's not a one-size-fits-all answer. So I could sit here and tell you, this is the best pacing. Nice throw by Stroud here. This is the best pacing for franchise mode. And it is for me, but you might hate that. It might be way too slow or way too fast for you. That's like, I think, the most difficult and under-discussed topic of like how to make franchise mode fun for you, is you have to find the pacing that works. Because otherwise you'll never stick with a franchise. You'll just keep hopping around from franchise to franchise to franchise. 1st down again. Inside the 40. I think of a hockey series. I don't know how I would do a hockey series. That's the problem. I mean, the problem with hockey, and I've also been suggested soccer, is it's such low scoring games, and because I don't know them, I don't know what to edit out of a video, and so I wouldn't know how to, one, commentate the video, and two, what to kind of keep in and what to take out of a gameplay to make it good. Whereas football, it's pretty easy. Baseball, it's pretty easy. Basketball, it's a little more subjective, and it changes based on what I'm trying to do in a certain episode, but it's still not extremely difficult. Another third down conversion for Houston. All right, we're under 5 minutes. I got to lock in with the commentary. I'll talk about stuff if there's still people chilling here after. We can talk about other things, but I got to lock into the commentary here. Stroud has a man over the middle, broken a tackle to the 10. Houston needs this touchdown drive here. Field goal does not do them much good at all. Stroud under pressure from Garrett, and he eventually finds him. Myles Garrett. That was a sick pass rush move. Dipped under the right tackle. Second and goal. What a throw! Stroud to Nico Collins. Fit it right between two Cleveland Browns defenders for the score. That was a superstar quarterback throw right there. I mean, that was impressive. You got to give CJ that. There was not a lot of space for him to fit that ball in, and he did it to perfection. The offense. Time to run the ball, control the clock. 3 minutes, and we are gone, and we're in the playoffs. This Week 18 all-or-nothing game has certainly been a nice back-and-forth matchup. I have no idea why we're throwing the ball out of bounds there. That's not the way you want to start this drive, and we're back to the air again. Richardson, this time he'll keep it himself. He's up the sideline, past the 50, to the 40. And he's tackled in bounds as well. Watch Richardson throw a pick. I hope not. I thought we'd come out running. I guess ultimately Donald Richardson did run. But it was a scramble there. Now under 2.5. Donald, back to pass again. This time finds Matt Driver on the slant. Gain of 9. And just like that, 2 minutes remain. Cleveland leads by 5. They have the ball in scoring territory. And we run out the final 2 minutes. McFerrin moves the chains. Houston will take their first timeout. Step 1 complete. McFerrin, he's to the 9-yard line. That will seal the deal. What ended up being a kind of barn burner game, not the kind of game we've seen often in this season. It's been a team led by their defense, but you knew we had a tough task with Houston's offense, with CJ Stroud, Nico Collins, and company. $35-30. It ends up being a pretty good offensive day. Remember, we did get the pick 6, so 28 on the board for the offense. Defense pitched in 7 more. Kenny Gainwell headed to the locker room in garbage time. 3rd and goal. Score! Kareem Hunt. He's our backup 3rd down running back. Old man comes in and score. McFerrin is the second coming of Peyton Hillis. Well, I hope he has a longer shelf life than Peyton Hillis. Always injury time out at the end. Every single game, man. I hate to complain about it because I could complain about it literally every game because it happens literally every game. It's got to be coded into Madden at this point. W game. This was a game that at multiple times I thought the Browns had it handled, but the Texans kept on fighting. But the Browns never let them fully back into it. The only time the Texans led was 3-0. After that, I mean, that's a great return. That gives the Texans some hope, I guess. But look at this day for Nico Collins. 11 catches, 111 yards, and 2 touchdowns. He's gotten the better of Denzel Ward for sure, although he hasn't been matched up with Denzel Ward the whole time. In Ward's defense. One of his touchdowns was on Kenneth Murray, of all people. There he gets a catch on... Oh, no, that's not Nico Collins. It's 82, not 12. Stroud, the DB blitz, eventually gets home. The ball's on the grounds. Recovered by Stroud. Texans need a miracle now. They need a quick touchdown and an onside kick. Stroud going deep. Has a man take Dell. Down to the 6. We're down to 20 seconds. Stroud. Flag on the play. And it's roughing the passer. The Texans will have it at the 1. The Texans still have life. Oh no, it'll be half the distance. It wasn't pass interference. What am I talking about? Stroud out of the back of the end zone again. It might be just a little bit, but the Texans still have life. Stroud rolling to his left, trying to get to the end zone, and he does. Stroud has been a monster in the second half, man. Holy. All we got to do is secure the onside. Which I don't think I've ever seen. Actually, never mind. I have seen it once. We do get the onside. Game over. That ended up being a wild finish. Both teams ended up with an extra touchdown over what I thought it would be. But the Cleveland Browns, 42-37, come out and upset the Texans in Week 18 to secure a ticket to the postseason. Explosive plays by both teams on both sides of the ball. Lots of interceptions, fumbles. Madden is that way oftentimes. But a wild game for sure. 42-37. I mean, far cry from 0 to 3. Richardson ends up with 3-3. Completed 70% of his passes. Really solid game from Ernie McFerrin on the ground. Kenny Gainwell as well. Between them, they had 130 yards. Jerry Jeudy led us in receptions, 7 for 86. A.D. Mitchell, his best game probably of his career, but definitely as a Brown for sure. 6 for 113 and a touchdown. Matt Driver, 4 for 41. Njoku is actually fairly quiet in this game compared to what we've seen him do at times this season. 6 pancake blocks for Teller. 7 for Lance Lynn, who's not even that good of a pancake player. 3 sacks on the day for Myles Garrett. 1 for Gibson, 1 for Folds, half a sack for Owe and Mike Hall. Pick 6 by Greg Newsome. And that's your ball game. And with that, Cleveland should be your 7 seed. They might be the 6th. So let's get through the week. Man, it's been a couple of days since I played Madden, so I forgot what this button is. Okay, it's just A. We'll go back for now. Pick 6 was definitely clutch. Houston was driving. We do have a multi-week injury. That's going to be Kenny Gainwell. So we're down 2 running backs now. So our RB2 going into the playoffs will be Kareem Hunt. I mean, we were 4 overall worse than the Texans on both sides of the ball there. I don't know how our offense and defense have the same overall there. So different in my eyes. And we'll be playing the Kansas City Chiefs in the wild card round. Knocked the Texans out of the 7 seed. Bengals get the 1 seed. Let's just look. I'll remove my face here for a second. Colts, Ravens, Patriots, Bills, Chiefs, Browns, and Bengals. Commanders, Niners, Saints, Lions, Cardinals, Eagles, and Packers with the 1 seed and the bye in the NFC. Let's go ahead, and before I end this stream, I do want to look at our season stats for the squad. Donnie Richardson ends the regular season with 10 yards below 4K. $23 touchdowns, 20 interceptions. Revenge game for 2020. Hopefully we can get our revenge. Does end up with the big 2-0 interceptions. 2020 club. Completed 72% of his passes, had 8.3 yards per attempt. Pretty solid. McFerrin does not end up getting 1,000 yards. To consider like what was after week 4 or 5, he was the leading rusher in the NFL. And he didn't even end up over 1,000 yards. That's how bad the run game fell off down the stretch of this season. Richardson adds 5 touchdowns and 4 fumbles. Does this only track fumbles lost or all fumbles? I don't know. Gainwell had 4 scores on the ground. Our running backs both average pretty much 3.5 per carry. You want that to improve for sure. Matt Driver does just enough in this game to eclipse 1,000 yards in his rookie season. 81 catches, 1,000 yards, 5 scores. David Njoku, career high in yards this season, barely below 1,000, but he's never been at 1,000 before. His previous high was 880. Man, I'm wishing we got him 32 more yards in this game. 1,000 yards at tight end is always really impressive. Njoku nearly gets it this year. 840 for Jerry Jeudy and 6 scores. Tutu Atwell, who got injured at some point, and then we replaced him with Adonai Mitchell. I believe all of these stats for AD Mitchell were with the Browns. I don't think he did anything for the Colts. So, I mean, he had 113 yards and a touchdown in this last game. He had 181 yards all season long. So that was by far his best game of the year. Jahan Dotson had some run at wide receiver 3 at some point. McFerrin adds another score. And Kareem Hunt adds a receiving touchdown, which we just barely saw as well. If he lowers his interceptions, he could be elite. Yeah. That's a big thing he needs to do, though. Jack Conklin ends up allowing 11 sacks. Linton, how many did he allow? I think he cut it in half, didn't he? Almost. He allowed 16 last year, 9 this year. How's it going, man? Happy to have you here. You're here just for the tail end of the stream. The game just ended. 131 tackles for JOK, 123 for Ben Folds. And look at this season for Myles Garrett. 20 and a half sacks with his 3-sack performance. He went from the lowest he's ever had since his rookie year in year 1 to a new career high in 2026. Got the extension and led this team to the playoffs. Also had his first career interception this year. But it wasn't just him. We had a pretty good year sacks-wise. 9.5 for Mike Hall. This is a guy that I didn't know about heading into our future. Just because 82's strength at defensive tackle is really low. But 9.5 sacks from the interior is really good. Now, I will say a lot of those sacks came in games that we watched. So whether you or not that makes you feel better or worse about those, it's up to you. Odafe Owe, 9 sacks. Daniel Gibson, 7 sacks. Ben Folds, 6 sacks. So we had 5 players with 6+ sacks on the year, which is pretty dang good. Defensive Player of the Year. I think there's a really good chance Myles Garrett is your deep boy for sure. It's a great turnaround season. Yeah, we were 3-14 last year, and now we're 10-7, headed to the playoffs. Started the season 5-0, which was wild. 9 picks for Greg Newsome. I think he had 3 touchdowns on the year as well. 3 pick sixes. 6 interceptions for Denzel Ward to go along with 15 deflections. Ben Folds had 2 picks. He was a really good rookie, man. I think he's going to earn star dev. JOK led the team in deflections and tackles. Had a couple picks. Malik Hooker was actually solid. He was, a stopgap signing, but he is solid. And then Kellen Bullock got a pick for us post-trade deadline. The defense was absolutely shut down elite this year. We end up with the 14th ranked offense in the NFL, the 2nd ranked defense yards-wise in the entire league, 18th point scoring, so more of a kind of a middle-of-the-road offense, and 1st in points allowed. So I think it's hard to argue that the Cleveland Browns had the best defense in all of football this year. Let's go defense. Who allowed the fewest passing yards? It was the Patriots. The Browns were 5th in passing yards per game and 4th in rushing yards per game. We just saw fewest points per game, number 1 in sacks, and number 2 in interceptions. I mean, that's a really, really good defense. And defense plays a big role come the playoffs. Is this defense going to be good enough to slow down Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs? That is the question that we will answer, not on stream. The playoffs will be done in our traditional episodic format, but after editing all weekend long that Vancouver Blizzard playoff series, I wanted to not have to edit this, so I wanted to do this on stream. I also wanted to, it'd been a while since I streamed, and I like hanging out with chat. So thanks to everyone who showed up on stream, who dropped a like on it. If you haven't dropped a like on it, please, I'd ask that you could do it. I don't often ask for likes. I probably should more often. I know that's like good to do on your YouTube channel, but if you haven't dropped a like, I'd really appreciate it. If you enjoyed what was ultimately a really crazy Week 18 game. And thanks to everyone who participated in chat here today. Y'all always make streaming so much fun for me. And I'll see anybody who's interested in 2K. I'll see y'all tomorrow, because pretty much at the exact same time I started streaming today, I'll be streaming once again tomorrow, except it'll be playoffs for the Vancouver Blizzard against the Golden State Warriors. I'm really excited for that. And I'll see you then. Go Browns. Bring the blizzard. All the good stuff. I'll see you tomorrow.